This is a little bit of family history. Can you all see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Let me go to presentation. So this is a bit of family history concerning Chicago Northwestern Boxcar number 71838. This is a photo that I had known for some time.
Pilot, and she is going to be
that it
flying
existed.
them over there.
And the people you see standing in front of the boxcar are from left to right. My great uncles Avold Kaplan, Don Kaplan, and a very, very long time friend of the family, Bob Barnard, who were all employees of the Owatonna Tool Company in Owatonna, Minnesota. And this documents a shipment of wrenches for Liberty ships out of built out of Sunnyvale, California. And I wanted to try and recreate this boxcar in HO scale. So to give you a brief bit of family history, if you know what a gear puller is, this is a gear puller, and it was invented by my grandfather, Reuben A. Kaplan, in 1927 or 26. 27 is on the date. And on the basis of this invention, he founded the Owatonna Tool Company, which received many E awards during World War II for the quality of their tools and the volume of tools that they were able to provide for Liberty ships. OTC had and still has many customers in the automotive, railroad, and construction business for maintenance. And these are just a few of them. This sign dates back to the 1950s. So this is the only clear close-up I have of that photograph. And you can see that the boxcar was built in 1141, and the new date on it, which is not in this picture, was also 1141. So I had to acquire an Intermountain boxcar that had incorrect numbers. So I went into Microsoft Word and using Railroad Roman, made up several instances of the road number, on the side and end of the car, and also replacement new and built dates. So the first task was to use 91% isopropyl alcohol to rub out the old numbers and the new and built dates, and then replace them with decals that I printed on my Alps printer in white. The sign on the side of the car, this was prepared for me by a fellow named Charlie Volk, who has worked for several companies in the hobby business, including Kato. And he gave me a PDF of the sign. He straightened it out and put the Joshua Hendy part in red, because looking at the original photograph, it's a lighter color and we just assumed it was red. I printed it out on paper using my laser printer in the closest size I could get to fill the space on the side of the car. Okay. Well, let's go back to presentation. So here's the car. I had to get a new roof because this particular series of cars had Viking roofs, and the Intermountain car did not have a Viking roof. It also had a superior door, so I had to go to KD and get Youngstown doors. And you can see that I have changed the numbers and the built date. And that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what date this boxcar load was shipped out. But since I model Texas, I'll probably rarely put this car in a train. But because it's family history, I felt a need to do it. And the next time I get up to Owatonna, which hopefully will be this month, I'm going to take this car up by the Owatonna Tool Company and show it to them.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll give me a copy of the actual photo.
Right. Very nice.
Very nicely done. Yes.
Fortunately, I didn't have to change anything else on the car, just the roof and the door and the decals.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Brian.
Well, let's see how. I need to get back to,
Here, I'll stop
there we
you.
go.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else like to present tonight?
Well, I can show you a few photos that inspired Clark for his coal shed.
Excellent. Let's see it, Doug.
All right, let's go to share screen. This
All
is
right.
that little building that the track is on the back side here. You can see the overhang just on the, see if we can, here is the back side of the coal shed. You can see the sliding doors. And that's Roger Ward standing down there in his red sweatshirt.
You are seeing a motion picture play out in a courtroom.
Here's the interior of the shed, the one coal bin that was open. You can see the opening in the wall and the roof that's just been covered with corrugated iron, where they used to load the coal into the building. And then over here, here's that 6x8 post standing up in the corner.
Yeah.
And then here's the opposite wall. Here is the exterior corner of the building. You see the post where it's just been cut off. And this is the little opening they left when they closed down the big openings. And this is about a 3x4 or 4x4 or 3x3 opening in the upper part of the wall for probably unloading gons into the coal bin later. And then this became a fertilizer storage building. So this might have been used for just loading fertilizer from hoppers. Another shot there. This is the other end of the building where the one post is still standing up. And this is that building at the far right end of the building that Clark has modeled. And here's a look at the length of the building. Tracks rolled right through here at the bottom at one time. So there's the other end. There's that concrete platform where that smaller building stood at one time, but it's now gone. In the background is what I call the feed mill, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was at one time in its day. So see, here's that platform. Notice how the concrete foundation slopes outward just a little bit on this coal bin. But you can see the concrete foundation here, and you got some bolts here. So something was fastened to the platform at one time. Here's the end of the building. You can see that overhang on the backside. This was all part of a large lumberyard complex, and the lumberyard building is still standing as well. And here, the sidewalk. This is that path, that walking path. That was the main line through town. There's another shot. You can see with tracks that are just run right in here, and there was basically a little sidewalk in here that they must have used for the trolley was up above there, and so this must have been here to help them move or slide that conveyor back and forth, as near as we can tell.
I wonder if that conveyor was on wheels,
Well, that's a possibility.
you
Yeah.
know? That would sure make it easier than hanging it off that trolley
Yes.
and
And
maneuvering.
that's a distinct possibility. I just wish we had better photos. There's some other stuff that we found there. Oh, while we were there, UP decided to run through. This is the Rock Island, what's known as the Rock Island spine line. The diamond was just up here where the stop sign is. So that's north-south line through town. Oh, got a little heavy on the finger here. Yeah, there's the, when we come back here, there's that little shed again. That might have been a propane tank or oil jobber or something or other. It's got about the size and look of being that. And this was the office, and here you can see the remains of the scale for the lumber yard as well as the coal bins still in place. And this is that feed mill that was standing there as near as we can tell. Another just simple, interesting building. It's got a dock out here at the one side. Now this computer is a whole, this little thing is a whole lot slower than my other one. Oh, takes forever to load stuff. But you can see this is, you know, this would be an interesting structure just for a little model with this cantilevered out loading dock, and this door here and the overhang, all corrugated iron. And that must be it for those photos. Yep, that would be it for. So I'll stop sharing. Anyway, that gives you a little bit of a feel for that. What Clark is, he's taken that sketch, and I know he was down there a few years ago, but he's taken the sketch that I sent, and that's what he's built his model from. A few photos in that sketch.
Great. Well, he put together 40 slides today, I think, or something like that to show us how he did it. And I'm sure he'll, hopefully he'll have that for us next week. Is there anybody else who would like to present anything tonight?
Can you see a little?
There we go.
There we go.
Very good. This is Highway 10 between Manitowoc and Appleton. And I want to.
Lean in, we can't hear you. Oh, your microphone now is, there we go.
There's. So that's good, right where we are. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. This is a little bridge over Highway 10 between Manitowoc and Appleton. And I've always wanted to model that. So I called up Larry Easton. I don't know if you're familiar with Larry Easton. He was like in charge of the Sioux Line Historical Society archives.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so if I needed some information or a picture, I call Larry. If you got a picture of the bridge over Highway 10, and I think I had this in about 15 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, keep zooming in.
Yeah. Well, the other.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. I like this little. Jason, how do I click it to the next image? Oh, man.
There you go.
I gotta go to the next image. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I got it.
Rich,
There's the model of the bridge.
Nice.
And that kind of engine would have gone over that for years. What were you gonna say?
you have to put one hand in your pocket when you're doing things on the computer. It works better.
Was that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking at your
What a
son.
smart aleck. I'm gonna go to the next one here. This is the migrant worker houses for the local canning company. I wonder how to get rid of. How do I get? Oh, there we go. This is for the local canning company, and the guy I taught with said that they would have the migrant workers would show up during the picking season, and by the time they were all done, they had like derelict cars sitting around, and this is the CNW coming up from the car ferry dock This Lake Michigan is over here to the right. Manitowoc River is over here. And there's 2 car ferry docks behind this train here. But this was done by the local photographer, like in the 40s.
Nice.
Well, his neighbor, the photographer gave all these pictures to his neighbor, and the neighbor that had him was a friend of mine from church, and he gave me all the pictures of the trains, and he gave all the pictures of the boats to the local maritime museum. The tower with the steam engine underneath it is the line that goes to Pecona or Appleton. And you can see the tower on the right underneath part of the signal bridge. And that went towards Green Bay. Nice, wooden storage building that was obviously a freight car at one time. I think Wayne Wesolowski in a book on scratch building demonstrated how to build the building to the right. So, see if I can find a little arrow again. Come on.
Over to the right a little bit.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, this is the way freight going out to Rockwell Lime, and with this covered hopper, it's about maybe 4 or 5 miles north of where the picture was taken. This is a sewer line
That
down.
old Oldsmobile was still salvageable.
Yeah.
In fact, it's in my backyard now. Do you want it?
No, it was salvageable when the picture was taken. I don't know what the condition is now.
I have no idea. It's probably got a little bit more rust on it. So, but everything in this picture, except for maybe the 2 locomotives, is gone. This is a sewer line dock in Manitowoc. And right over here, you can see a gimbal to let whoever's loading this car ferry, the Arthur Atkinson, if it's going to go too far, if it's like this hanging out this way here. So that was a big deal. And there were several car ferries that took over.
That car looks derailed. Those wheels don't look like they line up with the track. They may, but
Yeah, I'll go next time I'm down there. I've got some pictures somewhere of a freight car that several freight cars were all people up on the apron.
I can't hear you.
I got a picture. I'll take it out.
You may be too close to the mic.
Oh, all right. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. And I've got a picture of some freight cars that had been totally off the rails, and it had disrupted the apron. See where the guy's standing here? Evidently, the boat had pulled away from the C&W dock, and boy, it was a disaster. There were this is the icebreaker. I can't think of the name of it right offhand, but they recently took it out of service, and it's up in the upper Michigan somewhere, and it was replaced with a newer one. But a lot of these boats were fixed up at the dock over here. Can you see the little arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where they would have restored them. This picture was Manitowoc, and it was taken on the day I was born. There was a fellow, Ed Selensky, went around taking pictures of all this great scenes. And this is again on the day I was born. old C&W Atlantic Class D. There's a picture of from a tower looking into Manitowoc, Miro aluminum, Hersite chemicals, or some sort of a coating. Here's the post office, the second iteration of the post office. There was another post office further west from here. This is Durango, Colorado, about 6 a.m, just before the Durango or the Silverton trip. And I had gone on the Illini Railroad Club trip back in '63. My folks said I could go. I was only 15 at the time, and my folks said you can go if you can get the $133. Well, for a boy, 15 years old, $133 was a king's ransom. And they never expected me to get that. And then my grandfather and his infinite wisdom thought, hey, this sounds like a great trip. And he paid for the rest of it. This is Manitowoc again, East End. Right here, the tracks go straight towards Green Bay. The tracks over here kind of loop around through town and then end up going towards Pequanna. This is, I was working as a flagman with the Wisconsin Central in the summer, well, actually for years, but in the summertime. And they were restoring the bridge. You can see how this is a cement mixer on here on a raft, and they've got all the materials. And my job was to make sure I warned these guys when there was a train coming. And so I got this nice picture, and I was told prior to that I wasn't allowed to take pictures of trains when I was on the job. Well, this guy here decided, hey, I can give Rich a little hassle. So he turned me in, and I got a message from my boss saying I wasn't supposed to be doing that. And I told him, I said, I don't need this job. And he was all panic struck because he was short of people. But it was sure fun being able to tell a boss, I'm gonna do whatever I felt like. This is from the High Bridge. This is a bridge that goes north and south through town. And this is all these buildings over here were part of the backdrop for my High Bridge. This picture is self-explanatory. This is the bridge that leads to what they call the island or the peninsula, where they did a lot of restoring or different things on the. But this is the place where they would they would restore or build cranes and different things from Manitowoc Engineering. This is the Manitowoc Yard. Now, anybody recognize what this thing here is? For 10 points. This little ramp.
I think it's the blowdown where you, steam
Exactly.
engine.
Yeah, a couple guys we had the Winnebago Land Division of the NMRA this last weekend, and a couple people said, hey, that looks like something for skateboarding. Well, yeah, that's for blowing down an engine. There's another panel just like this over here. This is coming up from the lake. Excuse me, this is the car ferry. There's 2 car ferry docks down here. This is the power plant. This is a shaker to agitate the coal that didn't come out of these hopper cars. And most of this is still there. But I like this this shaker, the car shaker. I know in Chicago, if the car had a load that was frozen in there, they just set fire. They put a fire under here and set fire on the car, which of course made the railroad unhappy. Here's another look at the going towards downtown. Here's the railroad depot. The post office is over here. And boy, they were really doing a lot of work, a lot of business. Here's a crossing gate. There's another one. There was another one right over here.
Tiny little coach yard.
I don't know if it's a coach yard. I think they were just storing the coach yard was about 2 or 3 miles west of here. I think they were just storing those cars there. But then I could, that was a long time ago. And this is, oh yeah, this is the coaling, this is the malting plant, the RAR malting plant at the time. And then it became Anheuser-Busch. Then Anheuser-Busch sold it to another malting company with the stipulation that they couldn't make malt there. They could just store, they could just, have a storage building here for malt and different kinds of whatever they made beer out of. But then recently they told Anheuser-Busch they could go jump in the lake, and then they went back to malting. Same building, different look. I was able to finagle myself a trip up to the top here to get a picture of the city from 360 degrees. Coming up from the lake. Somewhere in town. I think this isn't too far from where the post office and storage buildings were. Car Ferry. Love those little tea kettles. Ron, have you got one of those?
I muted myself. Yeah, I do have one.
And this is a Sioux Line depot. And there was only one car impression right here on the sidewalk, but I know for a while there, like there was at the end of each of these tracks here, there was tracks coming. There was impressions of the wheels up onto the sidewalk and then over onto the street. So evidently, whoever the switch crews were, they couldn't count how many cars they had put in. This is a Navy boat that was restored at the car ferry or the docks further up. And then this is a North American, the cruise ship, the Great Lakes cruise ship right here. They converted this into a school ship for the merchant mariners. And then not too long after they had converted it to a school ship, they took it on somewhere on
Can't hear you.
okay. It was
Lean back.
all right, better. Just
Keep going back.
a little more.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Now that was, and this, it was a school ship, and then it got quite warm
Come in a little bit.
and I think I think what I'm going to do is see if I can find a microphone.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, so the thing tipped over, capsized in the Atlantic Ocean. It was never to be seen again.
Wow.
That well was great. This is a typical view. This is Lake Michigan out here. This is the Manitowoc River. The YMCA is over here now. Now, interesting thing about these lake boats, the ones, you know, like this is a steamboat. And because it was a steamboat, the hull was warmer than like a diesel operated car ferry. So typically it would be the ice would melt off, or it would be easier to shoot off.
I can't hear you.
Oh, this is a steam powered car ferry. And because it was steam operated, the ice would not build up quickly or at all on the side of these hulls. Does that make sense?
You're dropping out the ice. What would happen to the ice?
The ice would melt, or it would fall off because the hull was warmer than it would have normally been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was warmer, it would, you know, like it would chip off. And some of these boats, the ones that the diesel operated ones, obviously the ice would build up quite heavily.
I
No,
thought it
that's-
looked like it caught on fire and that was, blackened ship.
Yeah, that would be well, that's not so far off. When they were gonna scrap this guy, they had tied it up to the dock in Manitowoc, and somebody was doing something inside there and the thing burned up. So your comment wasn't so far off. I'm clicking through these because they were pretty much the same. You can see in the background here, there's this gantry crane. Obviously, there was a huge coal pile over here that serviced the boats and the city utilities. There's that gantry crane, huge pile of coal under that. Excuse me. Here's the jackknife bridge that ran over the Manitowoc River. And interestingly enough, the last boat that was built by Manitowoc Engineering had to come through under this bridge and around, kind of made a big a turn to head out into the lake. But unfortunately for the boat, it was too long and they had to dredge a significant amount of the shoreline so the Arthur Atkinson could make a turn.
There's some bridge damage there too.
I think this was like a catwalk right here. Is this
Oh,
what
that beam looks bent, and the X bracing too.
right here?
Yeah, to the right.
Oh, well,
I think
When I
something
was-
hit that bridge.
when I was working as a conductor and this,
Can't hear you.
when I was better.
No, you got to lean back.
All right, better.
Yes.
Okay, when I was working as a conductor on the job that ran from Manitowoc out to Ballard, which is about 10, maybe 10 miles. Oh, shoot, I just lost my train. I had to operate this bridge once going and once coming, and it was the railroad tended to throw you to, and the first time I had to operate this bridge, there were no instructions. I just pushed the button and let it go. And she comes down, and it got faster and faster. I thought, oh my God, the thing's gonna wham itself into the ground. Well, then they had some sort of a braking system that when it got to the, like, just a few degrees from the matching up with the tracks on the other side, it just slowed down to a crawl. which was a tremendous relief, but well, I'll tell you what, when it first started going down, it was really moving. And for a first timer, it was disquieting. Here's big storage shed. Can you hear that, all right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, big storage shed. This is the Sioux line. This is the river. This is where the Arthur Atkinson came out. Not the Arthur Atkinson. It's the last boat they built in Manitowoc. And it came out, they had to dredge this whole area right out of here to make the turn. This is where that bridge was, that jackknife bridge that was right in here for, and then these tracks here service car ferries. Okay, and that's it. I've got, oh, here, I'll see if I can. I don't know how we're fixed. Time here.
I think we're about done, Rich, but maybe we do that next week.
Yeah, I'll dig the rest of them out for you guys. I'll make sure I have my son-in-law standing behind me while we start.
All right. Well, thank you, Rich. Thanks,
Sure.
Doug. Thanks, Brian. And everybody enjoy your Thursday. We'll see you next week.
Hey,
Good enough.
don't
good
breathe.
enough.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good
Thank you.
night.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend.